Hello, 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 and welcome back to Mindful Insights. My name is Jen. Today, I wanted to kind of take a few minutes and talk about the hazards and kind of the mistakes that we all kind of fall into when we allow ourselves to judge other people or make assumptions about them based on like their appearance or their clothing or, whatever it might be. It could be other things too, but I'm not going to get too in depth about what we're judging people on because that's not the point. The point is that when we judge other people, then we're automatically kind of putting conditions on them, and testing them from a subconscious level and like trying to figure them out, assuming that they have ulterior motives, for example, which is something that's kind of easy to fall into if you've ever been with a narcissist or dealt with someone who is very manipulative and like tells a lot of stories and kind of influences people to take sides and things like that. If you've ever dealt with someone like that, then it's very easy to fall into being paranoid. You start to feel like people are out to get you or whatever it might be. And this is a symptom. It's a symptom of complex PTSD. So now knowing this, right? Now I've been able to, and I don't know if that's what it is for you, but that's what it was for me. So it might help you to deal with people in a little bit more of a healthy way, So rather than looking at a situation and taking responsibility for it onto myself and saying, well, what did I do to bring this on? Or taking things personally that aren't meant personally, rather than thinking that way, I've managed to redirect my thoughts to thinking, okay, what's really going on here? What's happening behind the scenes for this person in their totally dynamic life that's just as complex and like multifaceted and full as mine is. People have so many different areas of their lives that they participate in. So assuming that everything has to do with you is a little bit narcissistic, isn't it? Even if it's well-intentioned, it's still unhealthy. It shows a lack of healthy boundaries. So rather than taking things personally and judging myself based on other people's words and actions, and assuming that it has something to do with me, and rather than judging others and making assumptions that they are a certain way, instead of being open to just learning who they are and not thinking that everything is something to do with you, there's names for all of these like tendencies. And a lot of times when you've experienced certain things in life, you take on like a you want to martyr yourself or you have to sacrifice yourself in order for, other people to thrive and things like that. Like this is all mindset stuff. You can choose to contribute, right? But if it makes you bitter and resentful, then it's really not well intentioned. It's more from a place of obligation probably. But if you kind of take a step back and you only contribute what you can and look out for yourself first, right? And the other people contribute, you know what I mean? Like this is how communities actually work rather than being at each other's throats and, hey, you owe me this and you owe me that and blah, 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 rather than squabbling like that. We have the choice in every moment and in every day to say, okay, well, how can we make this work for everyone? And how can everyone kind of come together, and sometimes it takes a minute to get there with people, but that's okay. It's all a learning experience. Anyway, so all of this to say, it's all a mindset. Any of your judgments that you have are reflections of judgments on yourself, right? Any judgments that other people have, they will be more likely to express if you are in a state of judgment. So this is where everything is a reflection again, and there's always a tie back. Now, this doesn't mean that you're, you know, going to take 100% responsibility for someone's crime against you, for example. You know what I mean? I always have to talk about the extremes because somebody always has to bring that stuff up. And this is meant for development of emotional health and well-being, not to save someone who's been an abusive person all their life, you know, because you have to be willing to put in the work, and a lot of people are not willing to put in the work. So if you're not willing to put in the work every day, then there's no point in being here. You know, it's not for people who want a quick fix, because it's not a quick fix. You know, it's taken me 3 years so far to go from a 300 potentially plus pound alcoholic drunk to this, you know. And my external situation inspires a lot of judgment from people. My appearance has inspired a lot of judgment from people, both when I was big and now. There's a lot of hatred. There's a lot of hatred for people who are considered pretty, you know what I mean? And it's only those who are completely insecure within themselves who act out toward me this way, you know? And guess what? I used to be all bitter and resentful too. You know what I mean? But it wasn't until I realized that I was bitter and resentful toward myself for having let myself go that far that I was able to fix it, that I was able to kind of grow through it and reverse, you know? So I encourage you to, as you go through your day, you know, tomorrow or even the rest of the day and every day, just kind of take a minute, especially if someone's like really nasty and mean to you, you know, like take a minute and don't respond, and don't automatically hate the person. Just let that initial shock flow over you, you know, flow through you. And then think about, you know, what might this person be going through that they're so angry right now? Everybody's going through crap. You know, people think I'm this like super happy person, and I don't like to complain about things going on excessively. If I need advice or an opinion or something, I'll talk to a friend. I'll talk to someone. I'll find someone who, you know, I know will give me input that's honest. But I don't like to complain. So I do know that there's lots of people going through lots of stuff right now, be it health issues or be it family issues, be it financial issues. Everybody's going through it. You know, this is bigger than just one person's life or one group of people. You know, this is, everybody's going through crap right now. And if they're not going through a bunch of crap, then they know people who are going through a bunch of crap, and they're just kind of there holding the peace, you know, holding the love energy. And the funny thing about it is that we feel so alone when we're going through stuff. And that's part of what makes us so angry, because we feel like, well, what about me? You know, I've given all of this. For my whole life, I've tried to be a good person. I've tried to work from, you know, a place of honesty and integrity. And what about me, right? I was there last year. I could not find help for the life of me. Like, I literally had hours between when I thought I was going to have to squat somewhere with 2 teenagers and a dog and 2 cats, and when I trusted the universe and it led me to here, where you see me now. So everybody's going through crap. And everybody has their own pace. You know what I mean? It's not our job to judge anybody else, and it's not our job to judge their journey, and it's not our job to tell them how we think they should live it. Even if we feel that we know that this would be helpful for the other person. You can't shove your beliefs down somebody else's throat. You can mention it, whatever it might be, solutions, what have you, but it's up to them if they want to take it and listen to it or not. And if not, that's their free will. They've made their decision, you know. It's frustrating when people don't listen to you, even though you know what you're talking about. But that's where you just are talking to the wrong people, the people who are not ready to hear it will continuously shut you down, and they won't want to hear it because it takes a lot to look at yourself honestly. And then there's the fact that a lot of times you have to hear something or be exposed to an idea a number of times before it actually clicks, I did mindfulness research and writing about mindfulness for several years before I actually even tried any of these things, like aside from the just in the moment, practicing mindfulness in the moment kind of thing. I tried that pretty much right away. But when it came to like meditation, which I was always recommending to people, but I had never done, right, myself, because I had my family over here and various other people who were super religious being like, no, you don't know what you're messing with, blah, 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 and it's all belief systems. That's what they believe, it's not what I have to believe. So I decided to try it. And it was pretty incredible. And then I got experiential evidence, and now I have the whole life-changing aspect of it also that I'm aware of. And so, like, everyone that I meet and everyone that I come across, I look at them and I think they've probably been through some shit. They have probably seen a lot of crap in their day. You know what I mean? They might even be going through crap right now. If somebody's really, really like acting weird or whatever, or out of character or what have you, then chances are they're going through something. You know what I mean? It's, if we can think like that rather than you're an asshole, don't ever talk to me again, you know what I mean, or whatever it might be. If we can think in terms of, well, everyone has reasons for doing and being the way they are, can we be open enough to explore those reasons and maybe heal them? Or are we going to continue to cling to those reasons because we don't know what we would do without all that pain? So these are just some things to think about. I know I kind of talk in like, yeah, I'm a woman. I have spaghetti noodle brain. So if you guys don't remember that, I'll post the link in the description. Anyway, I hope that some of this resonates with you and that it helps on some level. I'm still trying not to go into too much gory detail about, like things in my personal life, because not all of these stories or things are mine to share. It's some of it is other people going through stuff that, are uncomfortable with me talking about it. So, just rest assured, I've experienced a lot to overcome, I guess, you know what I mean? But overcome is it has such a negative connotation. So I lean more towards just having experiences, and the ones that are tough I view as experiences that are meant to strengthen you. And I try to remember also that experiences can be tough and viewed as quote unquote negative, but they can also be challenging and tough and viewed as quote unquote positive, i.e., if you find yourself singing in front of a crowd, for example, or whatever it might be. I like to dream big, but we're just not going to go past that for this purpose. But if you find yourself singing in front of a crowd, it's challenging because, nerves, but it's also really exciting and fun. And so, I could see it being more challenging if someone had really severe stage fright and had to like vomit every time or something, you know what I mean? Like that, oh man, Yeah, I would not. Oh, how sad, you know what I mean? But it's still such a positive experience, you know what I mean? Like, and it doesn't have to be like cookie cutter or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, your positive experiences can also be challenging, and they can be challenging in the best ways. So don't think that every life lesson has to come to you in like some horrible, horrible way, like, oh, here, let's throw some more contrast at you. No, it doesn't have to be that way. It can just be good experiences too. And then once you have those good experiences, the cool thing is you can kind of compare them to similar slash opposite kinds of experiences in the past and go, oh, wow, it can really be different, And I used to think that it couldn't. I used to think that I was going to be here all by myself all the time, and that's not even it. That's not how things are. So all of this for no judgment, no assumptions. Let's give each other a little bit of a break, because we're all on this journey together, whether we realize it or not. And when we need people the most, you're probably not the only one, So don't be scared to connect, Don't be scared to connect, and don't be scared of misunderstandings and mistakes, because they can always be talked through. Don't be scared of who you can truly be when you really get down to it, with no judgment and no assumptions. All right, I hope to see you guys next time. In the meantime, I hope you have had a beautiful holiday and took some time to express your gratitude to Source and the universe and your life. I'm hoping that this holiday season that we can all do some inner work and learn to fall in love with our lives again, because that's where the beauty lies. All right. Happy holidays, and I'll see you next time. Namaste. Thank you so much for watching. No matter where you are on your journey, please take good care of yourself from within on all levels. If you'd like more guidance, please subscribe to my YouTube channel or visit www.innerworkcoaching.life for more content or to apply for one-on-one coaching. With unconditional love and light, I wish you an amazing week, and I hope to see you again for my next video. Namaste.